Hello, everyone. In each lesson, you will listen to a simple story. Please listen carefully, enjoy the practice, and try to remember useful words and sentences. Let's begin now. Hello, my name is Anna. Today, I want to talk about books. I love reading books. Books are very special to me. When I was a child, I started reading. My mother gave me my first book. It was a picture book. The book had animals. The book had colors. The book had short words. I liked it very much. Books are like friends. They make me happy. They make me calm. They make me curious. They teach me new things. I like many kinds of books. I like storybooks. I like novels. I like books about history. I like books about travel. I like books about people. I also like books about animals. When I open a book, I feel excited. When I read, I go to another world. Sometimes I go to the past. Sometimes I go to the future. Sometimes I go to a new country. Sometimes I go to a new planet. Books give me imagination. Books give me knowledge. Books give me joy. Every day I try to read. Sometimes I read in the morning. Sometimes I read in the afternoon. Sometimes I read before bed. Reading before bed makes me relax. It helps me sleep well. I usually read in my room. My room is quiet. I sit on my chair. I open a book. I read slowly. I enjoy the words. Sometimes I read in the park. The park is green. The park is peaceful. I sit under a tree. I hold my book. I listen to the birds. I read. It feels wonderful. Sometimes I read in a cafe. I drink coffee. I sit at a table. I open my book. I read. The cafe music is soft. I feel happy. I also like the library. The library is full of books. There are many shelves. There are many tables. There are many people reading. The library is quiet. I walk between the shelves. I choose a book. I sit down. I read. It is peaceful. My favorite books are novels. I like stories about people. I like stories about families. I like stories about friends. I like stories about love. I like stories about life. One of my favorite books is about a girl. The girl is brave. The girl is kind. The girl learns many lessons. When I read, I feel close to her. I learn from her. I also like books about animals. I like books about cats. I like books about dogs. I like books about birds. These books make me smile. They make me love animals more. Sometimes I read books about history. History books teach me about the past. They tell me about kings. They tell me about queens. They tell me about wars. They tell me about peace. They tell me about culture. I learn a lot. Sometimes I read books about travel. Travel books take me to new places. I read about mountains. I read about rivers. I read about cities. I read about villages. I read about people in other countries. It feels like I am traveling. Books are important for learning English too. I read English books. At first, it was hard. I did not understand many words, but I tried. I read slowly. I looked up words. I read again. Now I can understand more. Now I can enjoy English books. Sometimes I read children's books in English. They are simple. They are fun. They are good practice. Sometimes I read short stories. Sometimes I read easy novels. They help me learn. They help me practice. Books are also important for my feelings. When I feel sad, I read. When I feel tired, I read. When I feel lonely, I read. Books make me feel better. Books make me feel safe. Books make me feel happy. I think reading is a good habit. It is better than watching TV all the time. It is better than using the phone all the time. Books are quiet. Books are deep. Books make me think. I also like to share books. I share books with my friends. Sometimes I give a book. Sometimes I borrow a book. We talk about the books. We talk about the story. We talk about the characters. It is fun. One of my best memories is reading with my grandmother. She read stories to me. Her voice was soft. Her words were kind. I listened. I smiled. I felt loved. Another memory is buying my first novel. I went to the bookstore. I looked at many books. I chose one. I paid for it. I took it home. I read it all day. It was amazing. Now I have many books. I keep them on a shelf. I like to look at them. I like to touch them. They are like treasures. Sometimes I read ebooks. I read them on my phone. I read them on my tablet. They are easy to carry, but I still prefer paper books. Paper books smell nice. Paper books feel good. Paper books make me happy. Reading is a journey. It is a journey of the mind. It is a journey of the heart. It is a journey of the soul. That is why I love books. That is why I read every day. That is why I will always read. My name is Anna, and I love books. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed the story and learned some useful words and sentences. See you in the next lesson.